as the years went by and I left home at 15 and I married the same type man that I was used to being around that was like my father. He was a drinker, and we had a lot of problems with his temper and being a physical abuser. We spent many years with abuse in the house and perversion and things in our household as I was growing up. By the time I was 30, I had been married and had 5 failed marriages. You just felt like you could do nothing right. You felt like you had this big black cloud hanging over your head that followed you everywhere you went, and you felt dirty and ashamed. I became a heavy drinker. I was a serious drug addict with many different kinds of drugs, coke and PCP and horse tranquilizer and pot and all kinds of things, Quaaludes, Valium, all of it. And I was also a thief, and I was a liar, and just my life just continued to get worse and worse. And although I needed and desired that relationship with a man, I also loved and hated men both at the same time. Men had hurt me and abused me and treated me badly from the time I was in about the 1st grade on. But I felt this terrible desire to have one all the time. In my last marriage that I was in, I felt like my life was in jeopardy. I had had a gun put to my head several different times. I had been beaten up, and I really feared for my life. And I can remember getting down on my face before the Lord and crying out to the Lord. I said, if you're real and you're even up there, I didn't even know at the time if he was or not. I said, if you will get me out of this marriage alive, which I wasn't sure that I was going to survive it. I said, I'll never look at another man unless you speak to me, is what I told him. Unless you speak to me and I hear your voice, I'll never look at another man again. But I owned my own hair salon, and I had an evangelist and his wife and 3 children that came in the shop about every 5 weeks, and they came in and got haircuts. And every time they would come in, they would invite me to church. And they invited me over and over and over and over again, which I always turned them down, and I didn't go. But I decided to go, and I thought, well, it wouldn't hurt me to go to church one time, and I don't want to offend them and lose their business. So that was my reasoning for going. And I can remember what a impact it had on me when I saw these men and women sitting in church, and these men had their arms wrapped around their wives, and they would smile at one another, and you could see that they loved each other, and they had love in their eyes for each other, and it was just something that I had never been around. It floored me, really. I'd never seen anything like it. And I thought to myself as I sat there that day crying, with my heart and spirit shattered to pieces, which is how I felt. I felt dirty and I felt shamed, and I thought I couldn't imagine why or what God would want with me. But I told him, I said, Lord, if you're really real, if you're really there, and this is you that I see in these people, then I want all of that. I want everything that you've got for me. And a few weeks later, I became a Christian and got saved. And needless to say, my life was never the same after that. I even, the world even looked different. Nobody looked the same to me. Even the trees and grass and everything didn't look the same. Everything was brighter and cleaner, and I just had such a hunger for the Lord that the only thing I wanted to do was just read and pray and study and learn. And I never felt the desire or the need after that. I never really wanted to marry. I always felt, after that, I felt really complete, and I felt like if God wanted me to have someone, that He would put that in my path, you know, and make that available to me, and would set that up, you know, and work it out. And if He did, that was fine with me, and if He didn't, that was fine with me, because I didn't feel that desperateness of needing and having to have a man after that. It just wasn't there anymore. I didn't need that anymore. So I just felt like that He set me free